There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Claire, you know how we've talked about the lazy girl tax? It's things such as parking tickets, even knowing there's a parking permit that can be applied for.
But you shan't be getting
But the barrier is the application.
Mm.
I mean, click and collect shops are just full of things that haven't been collected by lazy girls. I've been thinking about how we can give back as patron saints of the lazy girl. And I've been thinking free things.
Oh,
Free things.
Lazy girls love free things.
Now, I don't want to buy them
No.
for them.
Why would that be part
But
of it?
I am putting it out into the universe that I would like to create a thing where you get free things for nothing.
And important, you don't have to
Yes.
apply or fill out a form.
25
or,
words.
in 25 words or
nah.
less, let me know how you're a lazy girl. No, I'm too lazy.
That's just, we'd get zero applications.
yeah.
It's not that lots of lazy girls didn't see it. They didn't apply. So how can you apply by being the laziest and doing the least, but getting the free things
That's
to
the
make up for the tax?
That's the next challenge for us to work out.
What I'm doing is I'm planting a seed and I'm watching, just as you are, just as we all are, if it will grow. But just keep an eye out and see if maybe we can get this thing off the ground.
This becomes a thing. Maybe in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the podcast that looks at silly celebrity crimes and assigns charges and sentences to them so we can all move on with our lives. I'm Claire Stevens and I'm joined by
Jessie Stevens.
And Jessie, do you have a lazy girl story for us today?
Yeah, I do. And in fact, these are thematically linked. I found a thematic through line and I've got two.
Oh,
I'll read one and then I think you'll get the theme.
okay.
Okay. This is from a lazy girl who says, about half an hour ago, I can't believe she was so quick. I was winding down on the sofa with some Real Housewives with some chocky that had little crunchy bits in it.
I need to know more about the crunchy bits.
Excuse
Crunchy?
me.
Like, is it crunchy chocolate? Because that's a great variety of chocolate. But
More
anyway,
nutty.
continue.
I suddenly experienced a much bigger crunch in my mouth than the previous crunchy bits had produced. Gave her a fright. I thought it was likely that this bigger crunch was a dead bug or a fingernail or something else gross that got into the chocky in the factory. We shouldn't accept that. I didn't want to have to kill my vibe and deal with being grossed out, so instead of spitting it out to see what made the crunch, I decided to just keep watching The Housewives, keep chewing, and pretend everything was normal. A few minutes later, I noticed my mouth felt different. On closer inspection, a specific tooth looked very different, and it turns out the only gross thing in my mouth was my own tooth that I chipped and then ate because I was too lazy girl to investigate what was crunching around in my mouth.
Oh, we've eaten a tooth.
Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl.
Now I just need to get used to the new tooth feel because there's absolutely no way I'm spending time and money following this up with the dentist.
I need to know which tooth. Because I agree, back tooth.
Front tooth. Respect. Respect.
Absolute respect for a lazy girl who goes, you know what? I'm missing half of one of my front two teeth and I can absolutely not be bothered to go to the dentist.
I had a friend who fell in a gutter and lost half of his two front teeth. And I remember that the dentist doctor people are always like, do you have them? My lazy girl hasn't got them.
No, I ate them.
I ate them. I left them in the gutter. I saw them and I left. So dentist lazy girl.
Dental work lazy
Girl is a theme because we got another
teeth.
one. We got another one, like same day. And it says, I had a toothache about a month or so ago and it got to the point where I couldn't avoid it anymore. We've all been there. I got an infected wisdom tooth. It was horrible. I went to the dentist and I got a temporary filling and then I went back a few weeks later for a permanent filling. At the end of the appointment, they make you do this thing where you bite down on a piece of special paper to make sure the tooth is the right height to match the other side of your mouth. The dentist asked me how it felt and it wasn't quite right. And I said it felt great though because I wanted to get out of there and go home and catch up on some TV.
Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl. That happened to me. So I had a retainer for both, but for my top teeth, they were like, are you okay with them? Because then we'll put the wire in. And I was like, look, I haven't been wearing it enough.
No. Like, are they good today? No.
Yeah, like I haven't been pulling my end of the bargain.
Yeah.
which was compliance.
With the rules.
And
I deserve the punishment of a wire that will stick them like this forever.
Yeah. And every time I see my smile, I go, we could have given it another week, could we, of actually wearing the retainer? So, lazy girls, I understand.
True. So true.
On today's episode, we are talking about Sex and the City and the ultimate lazy girl, Carrie Bradshaw. Sex and the City is an American romantic comedy drama TV series created by Darren Star for HBO. It was adapted from Candace Bushnell's newspaper column and her 1996 book anthology of the same name, and the series premiered in 1998. After 6 seasons and 94 episodes, the latest episode aired in 2004. But then, of course, we had such masterpieces as the Sex and the City film.
Jesus, honey, wax much? What? I didn't know I was going to be wearing a bathing suit. I could be on death row and not have that situation.
And then Sex and the City 2.
Hold up! We got a lot of Abu Dhabi to do! Abu Dhabi do!
And then, and just like that, seasons 1 and 2.
The more I live, the more I find that if you have good friends in your corner, anything's possible.
I need you to know that I was in Poland and the movie came out and I went to the cinema in Poland to watch Sex and the City 2. It was so bad.
Both of those films brought me unprecedented joy.
Brought me joy, but I went, this isn't a good film. This isn't a good use of my time in Krakow. It's not.
But it didn't claim to be.
More than it was.
Which was bad.
Correct.
One of the main writers and directors for the series was Michael Patrick King, who then went on to do the film adaptations and just like that. And no one loves this show more than Michael. He moves himself to tears when he talks about it. But Jessie, this was quite a hard episode to research because where do you draw the lines? Do we not discuss the movies? Do we not discuss the
We must
reboot?
accept, no, that they are a separate entity from the original series.
So what I've done, I've just gone on Vibe and I have stuck to the main show because otherwise, simply too much content.
Yeah, I agree. Too long for one episode.
Jessie, my structure for today is as follows. Wait, there's a gaping issue in this version of New York. Carrie being the worst friend, big, ridiculous outfits, and the Carrie-Samantha fallout. First, there's a gaping issue in this version of New York. Jessie, I do not like to judge a show of the past by the standards of the present. It's anachronistic. It's not particularly helpful. But the lack of diversity in all 6 seasons of Sex and the City, despite being set in one of the most diverse cities in the world, is bizarre. Like, it's weird that it didn't even happen incidentally.
Yeah, it's like they literally would be filming on the street.
And be
And
like,
if a black person went to walk past incidentally, they were like, oh no, you're messing with this world.
Yeah, you're messing with this strangely white world.
Anglo-Saxon New York.
Yeah.
That is not what New York looks like. It is a
doesn't
cosmopolitan.
exist. It's really weird. But it's not just the absence of any sort of meaningful representation that's odd. It's the...
Well, Carrie is short and
Yeah.
Miranda is tall and they do have a redhead.
Yeah, they have a redhead. They've got 2. Oh no, 1 brunette.
Only one brunette.
But it's the weirdness of what happens when any diversity does come up. Let's start with race. At one point, Samantha dates a black record executive.
I already feel bad about this. Like, my muscle memory is going, ooh.
Yeah. But the big complication in their relationship is that his sister doesn't want her brother dating a white woman.
I'm sure you're a very nice person, but you're white. And I have a problem with my only brother getting serious with a white woman.
Yes, because racism comes from black people towards white people.
They were like, what this show really needs to address is reverse racism. So Samantha has some big fight with her and this woman is portrayed as really angry and she gets full violent.
Yes. Well, that's what they're working towards, is that if you're going to have a black woman, why not throw in every stereotype?
Yeah.
She is angry, hysterical,
Irrational,
violent and aggressive
irrational.
towards a crying white woman.
Exactly, exactly.
In fairness, if my brother wanted to settle down with a lady and perhaps have a family, I'd say Samantha Jones is not the right woman for you. And I believe that's all that woman was saying. But instead, she was portrayed as a crazy, aggressive black woman. It is as though, I'll say it, in the writer's room there were no black representatives. It is as though.
Absolutely. Samantha routinely referred to his big black cock.
Okay.
Just, that was it. That was the stereotype.
Yeah. So they got a book called Stereotypes About Black People
Yeah.
because they'd never met a black person and there'd never been one on set. So they went, we should learn about them in this book called Stereotypes About Black People. And they went, the women are angry and the men have big penises. Let's perpetuate that.
That's as far as
it's called
we go.
diversity.
In her sign-off for that episode, Carrie says,
Samantha knew the real problem wasn't her little white pussy. It was the fact that Siobhan was a big black pussy who wouldn't stand up to his sister.
Carrie. So fucked, Carrie. Come on. You're a writer.
Like looking at Carrie, she does, without explicitly saying anything up until that moment, you'd go, she's probably racist. And she says that and it's like, oh, she absolutely is.
Definitely. Then there's another episode where Samantha dates a guy with a literal Asian servant.
Oh,
Do you
cool.
remember this?
No, I
Named
don't.
Some. And she's full depicted as a villain who pretends not to speak English
Oh, I
to
remember
get
this.
closer
Yes.
to her employer and
Yes.
make him break up with Samantha. So poor Samantha is this white woman living her life and there are just all these malicious people of colour trying to get in her way.
For Samantha, I mean, she's just trying to live her life. And it is very common that powerful white women come in contact with women of colour who are especially working for other white people who are trying to sabotage her success. And that story is not told enough.
No. Why did that man have a servant? She was like,
Was servant what they called her?
it was weird.
You shouldn't call people servants.
No.
You should call them
Not in the 90s.
staff.
Never, actually. Sexuality. For a show about sex, Sex and the City was really regressive when it came to sexuality.
He's very, very hetero, but you might get to this, but I remember Samantha being a lesbian for a day.
Yes, well, there are only two types of gay men in Sex and the City. A really camp guy who loves fashion and style, and a bitchy gossip, a.k.a. Stanford and Anthony.
Yeah.
They're the only types of gay men. We do not challenge that stereotype. The stereotype, according to Sex and the City, is true.
I missed my prom in high school because...
You were gay.
No. My girlfriend and I broke up the night before because...
You were gay.
No, I wasn't gay until...
You were born?
Never mind.
When Samantha has a brief relationship with a woman, as you remember, and her friends mock her and say she's become a lesbian because she's run out of men.
How does that work? You go to bed one night, you wake up the next morning, and poof, you're a lesbian?
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm a fire hydrant.
Yeah, I'm a shoe.
Then, when Carrie dates a bisexual guy, she describes bisexuality as a layover on the way to Gay Town.
I'm not even sure bisexuality exists. I think it's just a layover on the way to Gay Town.
Isn't that right next to Ricky Martinville?
She didn't have a way with words like she thought she did.
Absolutely
It's just
not. Then, in a brunch scene, Charlotte says when it comes to bisexuality, people should pick a side and stay there. Then Miranda calls it greedy and a problem.
It's hot.
It's not hot, it's greedy. He's double dipping.
You're not marrying the guy, you're making out with him. Enjoy it, don't worry about the labels.
You're right.
I'm very into labels. Gay, straight. Pick a side and stay there.
It's like, what is all of your issue with bisexuality?
What did bisexual people ever do to you? Ever do to you?
It's the weirdest thing.
You're straight women just living your life. Just leave the bisexuals alone. You know what the 90s and 2000s were obsessed with? Bisexuals. They really
Didn't trust him. Didn't trust
Couldn't
him.
decide. In every film, a lot of films, it was like, you want to know who the villain is? I'll tell you what, she likes men and women. Can't trust them. Indecisive. Flighty.
And they do have a preference. They just won't tell you.
So you'll never know. They keep you on your toes.
They just won't tell you.
And they want one of each.
It's like, what? That's not how it works. Throughout the episode, Carrie pesters her bisexual love
pesters
interest.
is the way I would describe Carrie's relationship with everyone.
Yes. But she pesters him about whether he's attracted to men or women more. It's such a logical flaw because it's like if I was hooking up with my boyfriend and then I'm like, do I kiss better than your ex-girlfriend? Which I would, but that's pathological for different reasons.
Yes. She's meant to be sexually progressive.
No.
And yet she's like, are you gay though?
Excuse you. Shut up. up. She ends up leaving him at a party.
Have you ever spoken to someone who's not white or straight?
Or wealthy. She ends up leaving him at a party after a game of all-gendered spin the bottle, where she describes herself as an old fart.
Oh, whoops. It's a girl. Try again.
It's okay.
Of course it was okay. I was in Alice in Confused Sexual Orientation Land. I realized I had a choice. I could stand up and walk out and prove I was an old fart, or I could fall down the rabbit hole.
Which is self-aware.
She would not like this same-sex marriage stuff that's happened. It's an absolute attack on straight people who deserve their pick.
Really weird. One of the most widely criticised episodes is when Samantha gets into a battle with sex workers in the meatpacking district. She uses a slur for transgender people that has not aged well and throws a bucket of water on them.
I can't help you, sister.
Shut up, you bitches! I called the cops!
Fuck my car!
Yeah, keep talking. I'll come down there and cut it off for you.
And it's like, I'm so sorry, the rich white woman has some noise on her street
In New York.
in New York City. That must be really hard for you. Like,
People
what?
are just trying to work.
And she's
And what, no noise has ever come from your apartment,
Yeah,
Samantha? 'Cause we've
Samantha-
heard you having sex.
yeah. And
Very, very loud.
you do a lot of public things, and they haven't said a word.
Yeah, I would call you a public nuisance for a number of reasons.
I just
And they would just try and do their job, correct?
they were sex workers, yeah, and they're on the street.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, if you go back and watch that episode, you think, ooh, we should delete that from the archive. Carrie being the worst friend. Here are a bunch of examples of Carrie being a terrible friend. One night, she's meant to have dinner with Miranda.
She's particularly a shit friend, Miranda. Because I think in terms of the hierarchy of friends, everyone's a bit, Miranda.
Yeah,
Especially early on.
even though Carrie and Miranda are meant to be best friends. But yeah.
Yeah, but she does treat Miranda a bit like shit.
Miranda is literally at the restaurant and Carrie's like, sorry, I'm having dinner with Big. He got this veal.
As in he ordered veal?
He got veal to cook. And it's
He
like,
bought veal.
I don't care about his veal. I don't care about his veal. He can put that in the
I'm
fridge.
no chef. But could it not be refrigerated for another night, even for lunch?
Or maybe he could cook it for one of his other girlfriends that he's definitely seeing. It's just like
If my friend
stood me up when I
said,
was at
I'm
the
so
restaurant.
sorry that you're at the restaurant. You probably ordered a drink, but I'm actually going to have veal, which, by the way, is a baby animal. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian, but philosophically I am. And I don't believe in you eating baby animal, but great, you're going to do that with a man who exclusively cheats on you.
And is the worst.
And is the actual worst. And you know that. I would say, Carrie, we done here. And also, may I suggest you find a friend who is either a person of colour or LGBTQI. And maybe it will widen your worldview.
Yeah. Then when Miranda has Brady and is a new mum, Carrie will not shut up about Aiden. Jessie, I want us to recreate
Can I
this
be
scene.
Carrie?
Yes, and I'll be Miranda.
Oh, no sleep again?
Actually, it was a good night. Got a whole hour.
Do you think that Aiden thinks that I think he's disposable? Holy shit.
Everybody has one of those friends who's like, anyway, I'm going to talk about my boyfriend.
No one gave a single fuck about Brady. Oh my God. And Brady, was Brady cute?
Yeah, he was a baby.
Okay, he was fine. He was fine.
Yeah. Then there was when Miranda slipped in the shower and Carrie sent Aiden to go help.
You talk about this scene once a week.
I'm still really upset about it. So she's naked, totally naked in her bathroom.
Falling and injuring myself catastrophically in the shower is my number one fear.
And how would you feel if you called me and said, Claire, it's happened. It's happened.
No,
I
it's
knew
happened.
it would happen. and I say, I'm on my way. And then you say, the door opens and you say, Claire. And
it's Rory.
Oh, it's actually Rory.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, do you want to see my vag? Because I don't particularly want you to see my vag and my injury.
Wet and soggy.
Oh.
How do you think you'd injure yourself if you fell? I imagine a compound fracture at my elbow.
Yeah. On the edge of the bar.
Yeah.
The elbow.
Or a slip disc. Because that means he can't move.
I often picture a very bad head injury.
Yep.
In which case I'd be knocked out. Couldn't even call a friend. But then she went to check on Miranda after this injury when Miranda's like, hey, remember when you sent Aiden?
You know we haven't talked about enough in that scene? I'd be pissed if I was Aiden. I'd go, I don't see you naked, friend.
Yeah. Not my job.
She couldn't even move and she was naked and whinging.
Yeah.
I had places to be.
Like, was Aiden...
She's disrespecting... Sorry, where was Carrie?
I don't know. Oh, I'd be so mad. Then Carrie goes to check on Miranda, but she still just talks about Aiden. So, Jessie, you be Carrie, I'll be Miranda.
I'm going to try and do an accent this time.
Okay.
I brought you bagels to cheer you up.
Wow, that's so nice of you.
Aiden never came over last night.
You know what? This is bullshit. You are bullshit. You and your bullshit cheer me up bagels. They're just a decoy so you could talk about Aiden. And just for reference, in this scene, Miranda is wearing a neck brace because she's
So is
injured.
that what she did? Did she hurt her neck? I just feel like at that point, it's like she's meant to be, oh my God, it's just so sad seeing a woman on the floor like that. She just looks so incapacitated.
So injured.
If you fell or something, I would never send my boyfriend to help you. And yes, I know, I don't have a boyfriend. What's the problem? Aiden's better in a crisis than I am. I can't even remember your cream cheese. He saw me naked. Your boyfriend saw me naked on the floor lying on a bath mat. Did he tell you that?
Then there was when Carrie wanted Charlotte to give her $30,000 for a down payment for her apartment because she had spent all her money on shoes.
Why didn't you offer me the money?
I knew you were going to say that.
I wouldn't take it.
Well, then what does it matter if I offer it or not?
Because I would have offered it to you. You're my friend.
And money and friendship don't mix. You're a 35-year-old woman. You need to learn to stand on your own.
It's an idea. Find a roommate.
Yeah. Find a roommate, move out of your massive
New York apartment, pick up some extra hours. How about that?
Get a
Write 2
job.
columns. Write some copy. Write some copy for literally anything.
Yeah. Be a busier freelancer.
It's a good idea. Sell your shoes on Facebook Marketplace.
Like, absolutely. She had no money.
She looked at all her shoes and she was like, these are worth a lot. All right, so I'll keep the shoes and I'll call Charlotte.
And she
and ask her to sell a ring?
Sell a ring. Sell a ring. Like, the audacity.
Are you using your 100 pairs of shoes more than she's using her ring?
You never ask a friend for money. So inappropriate. Makes me really angry. Then she judged Samantha for giving a blowjob to the Worldwide Express guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it turned out to be a whole thing about judgment because there was a bit of tension and Carrie ended up yelling, "You would never walk in on me because that is something I would never do."
Oh, come on, Samantha, lighten up, remember?
If I walked in on you giving a blowjob to a Worldwide Express guy,
you would never walk in on me because that is something I would never do.
There. I'm gonna splash some water on my face and then I'm going home. And I will not be judged by you or society. I will wear whatever and blow whomever I want as long as I can breathe and kneel.
This is the thing for someone who thinks she's sexually liberated. She's prudish and she hates sex.
Yeah.
She hates other people having sex.
Yeah.
Like any sex that doesn't involve her and Big / her and Aiden, she's like gross. And it's like, well, you write a sex column.
And Samantha giving a blowjob to the Worldwide Express guy is more ethical than a lot of the shit Carrie does throughout these seasons, such as breaking up marriages, cheating on people, etc. Then there's when she pressured Samantha to come to her book launch party after her chemical peel went wrong and then shamed her appearance at the party. Jessie, look at the images.
She looks like she's had such a bad burn and then she put a black hat on and I don't know why a black hat would detract from the face. This is me after. So when I was done with pregnancy, you can start using some of the hectic things again. And I was like, why use some when you can use all? So I just went absolutely mad. And that is what I look like. That is exactly what I look like. And I had to, and this has happened to both of us. We must now only use chemist brands because we've ruined our skin barrier so badly. Yeah. We look like Samantha Jones, except we've not had any of that exciting work done.
No. So Samantha said, "Carrie, I can't come. My face is burnt off."
Yes.
And then she goes.
I'm not sure I should go to the party.
You have to come. You're my publicist, and thanks to you, there's going to be 8,000 people there. I would like to see at least one familiar face.
Well,
Samantha, I need you. I can't talk to the press. I can't keep everyone straight. And you said you would be my +1.
Oh, all right. Don't worry about a thing.
You know what she looks like? She looks like those women. Do you remember a few years ago there was a trend of women getting their period blood and putting it on their face? I don't know if it was meant to be for skin or for moon purposes, but it was quite a spiritual, it was almost like a ritual. Then I think they howled at the moon. I don't know if that happened, but they did have period blood on their face and they would take photos. That's what Samantha looks like.
Yeah, well then she goes to the bloody book party and Carrie yells,
There she was, my +1, -1 layer of skin.
Hi, I've had a chemical peel. I'm Carrie's publicist. Why did you do this? It was an impulse purchase.
No, gum is an impulse purchase. This is more than gum.
I wanted to be super fresh for the party.
Well, you are. You look like beef carpaccio. Veil down, I think.
No.
and just leave her alone.
And she tells her to put a veil down.
Yeah.
Put the veil down, cover your face.
Okay, I
Excuse
didn't want to
fucking
be
you.
here.
Excuse fucking you. I didn't want to be here. I'm your publicist. I've set all of this up. I told you I look like shit.
Jesse, Big. Big was the worst and he was gross, and it would appear that even in real life, he is somewhat of a sexual predator. But he was also so shit in the series, and we were expected to forget. This is one of the worst romantic arcs in the history of television, that we were meant to be happy for Carrie and Big at the end of it.
Yeah, I wasn't rooting for them.
Here are just some of his terrible moments. Carrie and Big, first date in season 1, and they break up because Carrie realises what a commitment phobe he is. And she realises that he goes to church every Sunday with his mum and has just never told her about it. And
Girl,
then
that's allowed.
Well, then
It's allowed.
yeah, she's very clingy. She's very clingy. But then she turns up to church, fucking weird and embarrassing and cringe. And
You shouldn't turn up to your boyfriend's church with his mum if he didn't invite you.
no,
Church is very much an invite only. unless you pray. In which case, go to your own church.
in which, like, Carrie doesn't pray. Anyway, so she turns up, and even though she's been dating Big for months, he hasn't told his mother that Carrie exists.
He's
Yeah.
at church, is it? Let him.
Yeah, but it's also a
No,
bit
that's
of a sign.
That's Carrie.
Okay.
That ain't on Big.
Then, of course, they get back together, and Big and Carrie are at a party. And Big has been a dick. He didn't say it back when she said, I love you, blah, blah, blah. She starts hanging out with her friend who's bartending the event.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that scene where he's showing her a tattoo on his belly button and she kneels down, and then someone starts a rumor that she was giving him a blowjob. Anyway, Big confronts Carrie and tells her, whatever you were doing, please stop. You're embarrassing me. If your partner said, you're embarrassing me, what would you do?
Okay, again, yes, Big is not enough, but Carrie is too much. And Carrie, I think there was more times than one where he had the right to turn around and go, you are embarrassing me.
Okay.
At my place of worship.
You're being flighty and annoying.
You're being flighty and annoying. You're being too much. You're being clingy.
Okay, so this is interesting. You got a different perspective. How about when he takes a phone call when Carrie's reading a poem at her friend's wedding? And
Who
it's,
was on the phone?
like a work call. And it's like a shit poem, but she tried.
His hand would be hers to hold forever. His forever was as simple as her smile. And suddenly it hit me. 2 people were committing to a life together, and I couldn't even get a guy to be on a card with me.
Yeah, I guess you should have your phone on silent.
Also, I didn't even know people had mobiles in those days.
I know.
Okay, here's another one that's a good litmus test. So he wouldn't let her leave things at his house. Remember, she started trying to leave.
I feel like he'd give Carrie an inch and she takes a mile. I feel as though if you let her leave a toothbrush, she'd be like, here are my 2,000 pair of shoes and like some fucking ugly as shit rug.
Yeah, okay. That's valid. How about when he tells Carrie he's moving to Paris for work, but hasn't consulted her? And he's like, that's a shame. And then Carrie...
What does he do for work?
Business. I can confidently say business.
Go on. No.
Financial trading of the sales type of the corporate suit-wearing going to an office, potentially having an assistant running his own business.
So what was he doing in Paris? Moving business. There were stocks in the US that had to be moved to Paris.
Francois.
Turns out he does have an official job title, according to our producer, Talissa. What is that job title?
Big is an entrepreneur financier.
Claire, he is an entrepreneur financier.
So I was correct. Absolutely nailed it.
That isn't a thing.
It's someone who has money, so can invest in things, companies.
Isn't that an investor? An entrepreneur, which I can't say. Entrepreneur creates things, and he's a financier, so he creates money.
No. He funds the people who create the things. I don't understand why he
So
ever
it's like
had
Shark
to
Tank.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God, he would so be on Shark Tank.
Like Mark Boris.
Yes. And Carrie would come in with like, I write 1 column a week. And he'd be like, that's
You know what he'd say?
That ain't it.
It's not scalable.
No.
It's not scalable. You need to do more or have a better idea.
Look, I wish you all the best, but I don't trust you with my money. I'm out.
And then she'd cry and run to the lift, like the people who get rejected. Anyway, he's moving to Paris for reasons that are unclear. Yeah. And then Carrie suggests she could go with him. And he replies, but you'd be moving to Paris for yourself, right? I mean, don't move for me.
If things get really bad, then I'll move to Paris for a while and write Le Sex and the City.
That would be great.
Which one?
I don't care. But you'd be moving to Paris for yourself, right? I mean, don't move for me.
Well, why would I move to Paris if it wasn't for you?
No, I'm just saying, I don't want you to uproot your life and expect anything.
I am such an idiot!
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking that at the same time you were moving to Paris, I was also thinking I'd move to Paris because my New York sex column would...
He's really transferable in a different language, in a different city.
Yeah. I was thinking I would just write my column in French.
Like, that's not okay.
Oui, oui.
Oui. He then gets engaged to another woman after telling Carrie.
All Carrie wants to do, her character arc, is all she wants to do is move to Paris for a man. And eventually she gets there.
Yeah.
With the Russian.
Yeah. Right at the end. She wants a reason to be in Paris and it's too embarrassing to just go on her own. Even though it's like, you can go on your own. That's the thing.
Like, no, I want to chase a man.
That's the thing about being a grown woman. So he gets engaged to another woman after telling Carrie he would never get married again. Then after moving to Paris for work, he meets Natasha, ends up returning to New York, engaged. Carrie finds out over lunch.
We're engaged. I wanted you to hear it from me.
Oh. I just got a splitting headache.
Well, and when you call for lunch...
Engaged? How can you be engaged? You have a problem with commitment, remember? In fact, you told me you never wanted to get married again, ever.
Well, things change.
Meaning what? You just didn't want to marry me.
Look, Natasha and
Don't say her name to me. Don't you dare say her name to me.
Why are you having lunch?
No, it's really annoying how they keep saying each other.
Yeah.
Then he cheats on Natasha with Carrie. And tells Carrie he can't divorce Natasha because it will cost too much. Well, you're a financier.
No, he's an entrepreneur, you're a financier. Why don't you just invest in... There was one once that was pegs, like clothesline pegs, but they were slightly different. This is on Shark Tank.
Okay.
Sorry, it was on Shark Tank.
And I think I could get behind this product for you. I'll give you the $300,000. I want 17.5% equity. Wow.
What's the best idea you've seen on Shark Tank?
No, every now and then I follow a business on Instagram and I see that they started on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And I think
I saw a great high chair, the catchy high chair thing where it catches the food.
I think good on you.
The golden ticket goes to my favorite product.
I've made you a good offer.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is the winner.
Riding all the way to the bank, baby.
You've come to the right place.
Do you think Big would invest? Not in that.
No, because he wouldn't understand children, or love.
I'm out.
But he exclusively wants Carrie when she's with someone else. Like when he turns up to Aiden's country house to talk to Carrie about his breakup. Big is the worst. Okay, sorry, this is the biggest point. He's not even hot.
No. But I would say I like him more than Aiden.
Yeah,
Aiden's the worst.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Aiden's a pussy. I don't
like how he... Is there a storyline about how he kisses and he makes like sounds? I think there's a storyline about that. He's just a bit of a...
Gives me the ick.
This is a really emasculating thing to say, but it's the word that came to my head. And I do not mean to trivialise erectile dysfunction, but he's a flop.
He's a flop.
He's a flop of a man.
He's many things. Bad person, potential psychopath.
Yeah.
Actually, definite psychopath.
He's not a flop.
He's not a flop. Anyway, ridiculous outfits. Jessie, this is what Carrie wore to Stanford's wedding.
Looks like a Halloween costume. She looks like she's dressed as, you know, like Snow White's, the person who gives her an apple.
Like to try one? Go on, have a bite.
That on the head. She looks like, okay, Maleficent?
Yeah,
yes,
she looks
on the
like
head.
Maleficent. Yes.
And then she's wearing a tux, which I feel like is the equivalent to wearing a white dress to a wedding.
Absolutely.
Because everyone's wearing tuxes. It is so... She's literally got a corsage on. Is she a best man or something?
I don't, maybe.
Oh, okay, if she's a best man, this is just her bridesmaid outfit. But I feel like she improvised with the hairdo.
Yeah, the hat is weird.
The hat thing I don't like, and I don't like the mixture of curl and crimp.
Now, the boutonniere may say Preston, but the hat is Bradshaw.
Jessie, this is what she wore on the flight to Paris.
I don't hate this.
No, it's a great outfit.
You don't wear it on a long haul flight.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I do appreciate
so
that.
So she's wearing a long sleeve tight top and a high-waisted tight skirt. It's an incredible outfit.
Okay. Let's talk about what you wear on long haul flights.
Because some people wear jeans and that's always
That's always upset me because I was flying with someone once who had lounge access. And they said, come on, I'll get you into the lounge. And they looked at me, the lounge people, and they said, because I think it was quite hot and I had shorts that may have been pajama shorts, thongs. I think I was in a variation of pajamas, but that's what one wears when they don't fly business.
I don't wear a bra.
No. You wear either, for me, a dress up is a tight.
Oh, yeah,
like
leggings.
tights is really a dress up, like an activewear thing. But a sort of tracksuit with like a low hanging groin is more my
and
go-to.
Runners that then don't fit once you land.
Yeah, exactly
your feet
right.
have gotten puffy.
Yeah, and heels. Your heels aren't going to fit.
No,
your toes are all puffed.
No. Jessie, how about this outfit that she wore in Paris? We need to talk about the fact that, like, obviously Sex and the City was huge for fashion, apparently. But as someone who doesn't know anything about fashion,
yes,
I felt that Carrie was playing dress-ups the whole time.
Yeah.
Jess, what do you think of that outfit?
Yeah, it looks like something that a 4-year-old going to preschool would be like, I want to wear my tutu.
And why are her hands in that thing?
Oh, I remember that.
It's called a muff.
It's called a muff, and I'm going to hazard a guess that that's real fur because that's very Carrie. To wear real fur and then people to go, that's real fur, that's not cool, and then her to go, I'm a little victim.
But fashion.
Fur is murder!
God, I miss New York.
That's why it's jogging a memory, because there's an episode about that.
Yeah.
Because she would wear fur because Carrie cares about Carrie.
Mm-hmm.
And as previously stated, Big's eating veal and she's wearing fur.
Yeah. And they're just totally impractical. Jess, speaking of impractical, what do you think is impractical about that image?
Okay, so this is them at a ball game.
A ball game.
She has massive heels on, which you would never wear to a ball game. That is a fur coat made of like 4 different animals. I would say like a whole cage of rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all wearing fur. Actually, I think Samantha's wearing a leopard. They didn't do anything for fur, like for the anti-fur movement.
Don't you think it's interesting that I would think your defense for wearing fur would be it's cold? Keeps me warm. Why aren't you wearing pants? She's not wearing pants. Her legs are out.
Well, that's why she needs a big fur jacket.
I
Because she's got to chill. There's a draft coming up her legs and she's like, well, better throw 10 extra rabbits on this jacket.
It's never clear what the temperature is. And Jessie, just finally, here's another image. What do you see?
Oh, she's trying to be Audrey Hepburn. Except she's got 308 pearl necklaces around her neck and she's got an updo. I know what you mean about her playing dress up and kind of always impersonating someone. And it's like, imagine thinking people are watching you. That's how I feel when I get dressed. I go, no one cares. No one's looking at you. But Carrie's like, everyone's looking at me.
All the time.
And therefore I'll wear my tutu.
And I don't have any money, but that's okay because I'll just ask Charlotte to sell her stuff.
Yes.
So I can buy more shoes. Finally, the Samantha-Carrie fallout. Following the series' end in 2004, there had been reports that Kim, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kristen Davis, and Cynthia Nixon weren't exactly the best of friends. In a 2017 New York Post article titled Inside the Mean Girl Culture That Destroyed Sex and the City, it notes that Sarah Jessica Parker and Cynthia, so Miranda, were friends initially because they knew each other from like Broadway. Then they included Kristen in the group. But Kim Cattrall was left feeling left out. Okay. And then when Darren Star left and was replaced by Michael Patrick King and Sarah Jessica Parker were friends. So it was very much a gang that left out Kim Cattrall. 4 years after the series finished, a report in The Telegraph stated that Parker and Cattrall fell out over money because when it got to the second season, Sarah Jessica Parker got an executive producer title and her salary went up to $300,000.
Executive producer, though, that is an additional role.
Yes, but I guess Kim was like, well, why can't I be an executive producer?
Well, because it's more work. Do you want to do the work?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, well, I'm on Sarah's side. Well, and I always have been.
Yeah. Well, Kim tried to negotiate for a higher salary. It didn't work, and the other lead actresses wouldn't even sit with her at mealtimes. The same report also looked back at the time in 2004 when Cattrall didn't sit with the rest of the cast at the Emmys, to which she said, are we the best of friends? No. We're professional actresses. We have our own separate lives. I love when people say we're not friends, we're like colleagues. It's like you fucking hate each other. You hate each other. Tell me why.
Say that you hate.
Tell me why.
And she's always like, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
I just fucking hate Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know why.
I've never cared about anything more.
Guys, please stop writing stories about it. We just had a massive falling out about money. We need dollar figures.
So then on the set of the first Sex and the City movie, apparently Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall were no longer speaking. Both of them tried to say that this feud didn't exist, but it just clearly did because fast forward a few years, this is my favourite bit of the feud, always has been.
Is it the one about the brother?
Yeah. So following reports that Kim Cattrall's brother had died, Sarah Jessica Parker shared her condolences in an Instagram comment. But Kim responded in a separate post saying, your continuous reaching out is a painful reminder of how cruel you really were then and now. Let me make this very clear if I haven't already, you are not my family, you are not my friend. And she had also told Piers Morgan in an interview, we've never been friends, we've been colleagues. And in some ways, that's a very healthy place to be as you have a clear line between your professional life and your personal life.
I take to tasks the people from Sex and the City, and specifically Sarah Jessica Parker, is that I think she could have been nicer. I really think she could have been nicer.
I disagree. I just think there's something that reeks of Kim Cattrall being, I don't want to say difficult because it's very gendered, very loaded. I do understand the clickiness, right? But when you've got a whole cast who clearly think one way, and then you've got one person who's on the outer, sometimes that person is very difficult to get along with. And I think that maybe Kim is, like, maybe she got upset about money, which is fair enough, But by all reports, and I have read them, I've followed them because I had a soft spot for a while for Matthew Broderick.
Oh, yeah.
And for that reason, I care a lot about Sarah Jessica Parker and her twins. I do. I think she seems lovely. What do you think?
I just think that that's just a bit of a dangerous road to go down, that you just side with the majority.
I think I side with the majority. Do you not?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, what do you think of Sarah and Matthew?
I think Kim Cattrall's probably the problem. I think she is.
Okay.
I'm 99% certain she is the drama.
Okay.
However, I support her right to be the drama.
Yes.
Just to add just a little bit more evidence that Kim Cattrall really may be the drama, I just want you to watch a video, Jess.
Yep.
Yamakipiebo, Sedere Fakebo, Indog Latin me quoth, UJ, Safa Saray! Well, he bit all the he-dogs and winked at all the she-dogs. The town never knew such a hullabaloo as that little dog raised till the end of that day. We just have a good rhythm together, you know. He sort of feels me out, I feel him out.
Jessie, first of all, I don't think I like scatting.
Second of all, she's the drama.
She's not good at it.
She's the drama.
She's the drama.
I could tell.
Yeah.
Claire, I'm going to need you to scat. About Sex and the City.
Okay.
About the drama.
Okay.
Go.
And you have to use the word hullabaloo. Okay. Deep-a-dap-a-doop-a. Sarah Jessica Parker wearing stupid clothes in a hullabaloo. Kim Cattrall is the drama, wants more money, greedy, boo, hullabaloo. I hate it.
I just feel like if there's one thing worse than scatting, white women shouldn't scat.
No.
As evidenced.
No.
And there's a man on a fiddly thing.
Yeah.
On a,
I was going to say
it's a
deep
partner.
guitar.
I was going to say oboe, but I don't know what an oboe is. It is a bass of some kind.
So it's her partner.
You know what
She's
she isn't
scatting.
for scatting? She's not quick enough.
Mm-mm.
It's quite slow. You can't just be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna do a scat and I'm gonna take my time. That's just a song.
Yeah, that's not
scatting.
My charge is, yes, Sex and the City was a product of its time, and there's a lot that I'll forgive.
Yeah,
there are some things I won't forgive.
Like what?
Sorry, I was pausing for emphasis.
Okay,
just being a total lack of diversity, problematic storylines that were problematic even then.
Okay,
and quite disturbing.
All right.
So my charge is being problematic.
Wow.
And what they've done, this is what's interesting. Sex and the City knows this.
That's
Sex
why
and
they
the
made
City
it just like that, and they went, all of you can have a friend who's a woman of colour. And that is how you fix things. You get the white main characters to meet someone who's a woman of colour to really support the character arc and the storyline, and for the white woman.
Yes. So Sex and the City did charge itself.
Yeah.
With being problematic.
And it sentenced itself to, and just like that.
It did. It sentenced itself because we had a bit of there was a weird moment with the two movies where we actually went even harder.
Then we went
to Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
And we
went, you know what? We were kind of low-key racist during the series because we just didn't include any diversity. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be high-key racist.
Yeah.
And go to Abu Dhabi and make fun of people in headscarves.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Now, they clearly sentenced themselves within just like that.
Yeah.
My problem isn't with the charge. My problem's with the sentence.
Yeah, because in just like that made them a lot more money.
Yeah, and just like that has been terribly done.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Like, the writing and
highly watchable, absolutely love, but the
terribly done. It's not highbrow.
Shoving things down our throat with absolutely no consideration of making it a story.
No.
Making us suffer with Shay That's really upsetting.
I do not like Shay. I do not.
It's really upsetting. So my sentence is this. Instead of this reboot, this and just like that reboot where we're just introducing new characters but it's just a mess, I want them to recreate existing episodes but better and fix.
Wow.
And actually fix them. So we're going to have...
Like Matt, you know what? Okay. So Matt's is in the meatpacking district
Yeah.
and she's screaming at those sex workers. You're arrested for hate speech. You're arrested for hate speech. And you
Exactly.
get cancelled on
And
Twitter.
there's a protest where everyone's like, kick that lady out of her apartment.
because she's using slurs
Against...
these people.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing.
Yeah.
And then when Samantha has her weird confrontation with a woman who's trying to get her away from her brother,
Yeah.
we need to see that end in a much better way. We need to see that woman get on Twitter and blast Samantha Jones.
Yes.
That's
Exactly.
what I
And go,
need.
she was dating my brother for his large black cock and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. So what we've done, we've tried to forget
Yeah.
this world. We've tried to forget 6 seasons and create a new world.
You don't forgive and forget.
Nah. What we do is we go backwards. We try to correct badly.
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Jesse, what's your charge?
My charge is for someone in particular. It's for one person.
Is it Carrie?
No.
Is it Big?
No.
Is it Samantha?
It's for Kim Cattrall.
Oh!
For 2 reasons. The first, ruining it.
No, that's actually such a good point.
Ruining the fun.
Mm.
Because we were having fun with these 4 ladies going, you're all friends. Look at these 4 lovely white ladies.
And
they go to brunch.
And I love that a prude can be friends with
a slut.
Yeah.
It was diversity because we had a prude, we had a slut, we had a redhead, and we had someone who converted to Judaism. Okay?
Tell me how you can possibly be
more diverse than that. And she had sex with that lesbian once.
And do you even remember that once, Miranda couldn't fit into her pre-pregnancy jeans?
So
Once.
watch out.
But then
They were at risk of being too inclusive.
then she could fit into those jeans later, so it was fine.
It's a close one. Oh, I remember Kim Cattrall actually wore those pants once and she came out and the camera zoomed in and she had a stomach, as in like a belly button. And they were like, oh, Samantha, you're so fat.
That was in one of the movies.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, that
just
was
fully
upsetting.
fat shamed.
Mother of God, what's with the gut?
Guess I didn't realize how big I was until I saw it on your faces.
How? And I say this with love. How could you not realize it?
I've been avoiding mirrors.
Which is like, she's already on eggshells. She's already pissed. I wouldn't.
And then they're like, oh, Kim, will you come do the movie? Yeah, fine, whatever. Okay, in the first scene, you're fat.
You're fat.
Oh, did you need me to put on weight?
No. You're perfect as is.
Okay, sentences. I want more from that falling out. Because as I say, she keeps being like kind of giving tidbits to the media. But we know, and this was actually related to the charge, is the scatting. The sentence, I think, should be a scatting statement.
How about a rap battle?
They couldn't have been any more racist. So what I would love is
If
Sarah
to
Jessica Parker.
appropriate-
Yep. Some black culture. Get Sarah Jessica Parker to come in. Kim Cattrall, rap battle.
Yeah.
And then I want Siobhan or whoever his
Yeah.
name was
To be
to
the
come with
judge.
his sister
Oh, okay, yeah.
to go on rap battle. It'll be like 8 Mile all over again.
Yes. Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. I need to hear the story in the scatting cadence, bit of a poem between 2 white ladies. That's what I want.
It'd be humiliating. That actually is a great sentence for, like, fitting of their crimes.
I agree.
That's all we have time for this episode of Cancelled. You can follow us at @the_twins_thoughts. You can see some of those terrible fashion moments. Oh, wow. I'm looking at the 15 layers of pearl necklace right now. So we will share them on Instagram. We'll share the scatting.
People need to see it because they need to see the way she really moves her head. I like she's impressed with herself.
Yeah, we really need to share that.
The executive producer of Cancelled is Talissa Bazaz with audio editing by Thom Lyon. And if you like this podcast, just leave us a review or something. 5 stars. Say something weird. Write a scat.
The weirder the review, the better. Because people go, oh, this podcast has got quite a lot of reviews.
Oh, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? This must be a weird show.
It is.
Sure is.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.